Manasa che padutena, basati va karoti va, tato nang dukam anveti, chakangva vahato padang. If one speaks or acts with a spoiled mind, unhappiness follows that person, just like the wheel follows the foot of the one working. So as opposed to the first line, here we have two finite verbs, basati and karoti. These are both third-person singular present active indicative, and there is no subject expressed, but of course we know Pali verbs have the subject built into them. So we don't know this is he, she, or it, and we might just go with one. Now if we go back here to the second word, che means if. So we have if one speaks, and then we have va, or acts, or literally, we could say in English if one either speaks or acts, but just keep in mind Pali's a little different with the way they use and or, and we really in English, we just use it one time. Then we have manasa. This is again our mano, our mind. This is the instrumental singular. And we have also with that padutena. Now paduta is an adjective meaning spoilt or bad or corrupt. Actually, I kind of like corrupt, or even the word negative. Padutena here is also instrumental. It's going with manasa. So if one speaks or acts with a negative mind, a spoiled mind, a corrupted mind, then we go to the next line here, tato. This is telling us what happens thereupon or then, probably not needed, strictly speaking, in a translation, so we might just leave it out. And here, this is sometimes a little bit of an issue. We have this dukam anveti, and it really might look like dukha manveti. So we have the word dukkha here. If we look that up, we'll notice that it's neuter. And that means that if it's in the nominative or accusative, we will expect dukkang. But what's happened here, this next word, anveti, since it starts with a vowel and it's been run together with dukkang, that changes the ng into Here what we have is actually dukkam, a nominative singular neuter, and then we have anveti, which is actually our main verb, which means to follow or to go together with. And here, why don't we just translate dukkang as unhappiness? Unhappiness follows nang. Now, nang is another form of tongue or etang. You can see in Doroi Sel, he says that whenever we have a T in these personal pronouns, they can be replaced with an N. And this nang is the object of anveti. So we have unhappiness follows nang, or accompanies nang, goes with nang, goes with that person. That person who was mentioned in the basati and karoti. Then we have a little simile, chakangva vahato padang. This part is a little tricky. The commentary helps. If you don't use the commentary, you get the translation that I gave at the beginning. If we do use the commentary, we'll get a better understanding of what is going on. So what is going on? First of all, chakang, this is the word for a wheel or a spinning disc. It's actually, the Sanskrit form of this is chakra. So this is the same word as the spinning wheels of energy that we find in our subtle body. It can also be a discus-like weapon, but here it's just simply a wheel, like on a wagon or some kind of cart. And the va is a shortened form of eva, just like. So we have just like a wheel, and then we notice here we have vahato and padang. There's no verb, So we probably have to understand anveti. Just like a wheel, anveti follows or accompanies padang, the foot. And then we have vahato. Now this is from the verb vahati, which means to carry, bear, transport, proceed, or work. What this is referring to, and this may be obvious to many people, but we have to, if we transport ourselves back to the Buddha's time and we realize that there were no motorized vehicles, and we think about farming perhaps, how work got done was by animals yoked to a cart or a plow, etc., and they would walk and drag a plow or drag a cart or whatever. That's what is being referred to here. It's a little elliptical, and of course that's par for the course, I think, in poetry. If you look into the commentary, it makes that much more explicit. I'll put that up here. Also, I mentioned the tie from before. That also makes it very explicit that a wheel follows the foot of a cow. So this vahato is the genitive present active participle of vahati. And we have to understand of the one working, of the one doing this work. We can supply that, and it usually gets supplied in translations, of an ox or, some sort of cow or animal. That is what's being referred to.